Very interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, well.
Wait, so your kid's friend listens to us, and what does he say about us?
I don't think he says anything. I don't think he, I don't think he sits there and is like listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she kind of like.
Or he doesn't get half the jokes.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, what do those guys talk about when they talk about men and women?
Why do they laugh every time they say coming?
Because people aren't going all the time.
Because nobody's
Yeah.
nobody's going.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why.
I feel like Bill O'Reilly right now.
Why is that?
Because we're doing it live.
Oh, always.
I didn't know. Flip it. We'll do it live.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he had a whole, like, it was like a meltdown when they talk about people who are, like, mean behind the camera. Bill O'Reilly, well, I mean, he wasn't even mean. Yeah, I think he was, like, yelling at the teleprompter guy, but even though the teleprompter didn't work. So he was like, well, how am I supposed to do the news with no teleprompter? And then he's like, flip it. We'll do it live. And he's grabbing the paper. And I think he even takes a drink.
Oh.
Like a clearly dark booze.
I kind of do remember that.
But it's not as bad as, like, old Christian Bale, where he's, like, stepping on a gaff tape or something. And he's like, what are you doing? You're the worst human ever. Actually, there's one person worse.
Bill O'Reilly?
I was going to say Alec Baldwin. I think he yelled at his daughter for eating. No, that was... He yelled at his daughter and called her like a fat little pig or something like that.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be like, well, he shot a woman.
See, like, everybody's so mad. I don't understand. Like, the same exact thing happened to Brandon Lee.
Yeah, I don't think people were happy about that either.
No, they weren't happy, but, like, they didn't go and, like, I don't think the guy who, like, was holding on to the gun, the actor that was holding on to the gun that somebody put a real bullet in and shot Brandon Lee with.
Yeah,
I don't think that guy's in trouble.
No.
I would I mean, Brandon Lee's murder. Could you call it a murder? Well,
I don't know. Or is it a manslaughter?
Man's laughter?
He played the character Fun Boy. Prop gun fired a blank fulminant, resulting in his death.
But was it a blank and it actually, like, fired something? A projectile?
I think that they thought it was loaded with blanks, and then it fired a bullet fragment, which is kind of weird.
TV guns are dangerous too.
Yeah, who would have thought? Lawsuit and settlement. They fired a negligence lawsuit against the producers and others involved in the film. So yeah, they just got like money for it, but it doesn't seem like the guy got.
He didn't get in any trouble. They just gave him a bunch of money.
Yeah, they give the guy who shot him a bunch of money.
They're like, hey, sorry about your luck, pal. And they were like, yep, we gotta get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do?
I mean, Alec Baldwin's contributed so much to television history. I mean, he's been an actor
30 Rock.
Yeah, 30 Rock. One of my favorite characters of all time.
He's pretty good on that.
Yep.
And he didn't even kill anyone on that.
I mean, I can double check. I don't know, but
I meant in real life during then. We probably wouldn't even know.
He killed the role of Jack Donaghy.
Yeah, he did. Who do you think's murdered more people, Alec Baldwin or Hillary Clinton?
I think with their own hands, I guess I would have to say Alec Baldwin but I bet you Hillary had something to do with, like, she sent a couple emails and people just disappeared.
Yeah.
I think, well, I don't know.
Imagine having that power of an email.
That would be a strong email. Like, sometimes people are like, oh, I didn't like my service, I'm going to write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah.
But, like, have you ever written a letter so strong that somebody died as a result?
Yeah, there's no Applebee's employees left in Washington, D.C.
Oh, my eggs and... Wait, what was it? It was an Applebee's? Did they have eggs at Applebee's? They got Dollaritas. in Washington, D.C., there were $1.50 Ritas, and they were like, all right, listen, somebody's going to... And that was that, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, not great for all those Applebee's employees.
Not
Imagine if you were a server, though, going up to Hillary Clinton's table, just hoping that you don't see the old...
Yeah. You're like, did you want no mayonnaise on that? And then she's like, yes. And you go back to the cooks and you just stare at them and you watch them make it, because if it has mayonnaise on it, and nobody ever blames the cook. It's always
Never.
Like, oh, the waitress, she does not put... Like, yeah, I said no mayonnaise. It says no mayonnaise on the ticket. The guy brought it out and it had mayonnaise on it.
This actually seems like something that happens to you pretty frequently.
Often.
You
don't understand the struggle of not liking mayonnaise, but enjoying hamburgers it's an insane request, apparently, just to say, can I? Just the other day, I'm not even kidding, I went to, where was it? Hardee's, I think? Not even Hardee's. Where was it? I don't remember.
I think Hardee's has the old mayonnaise on their burgers. So
they do. Every fast food restaurant, except for like McDonald's, doesn't put mayonnaise on their regular. Anyway, I said, hey, can I have that burger with no mayonnaise? And they were like, yeah, no problem. They handed us the bag, and then I said, is the one with no mayonnaise marked? And then the girl, who literally just grabbed the bag, from the back and like handed it to me, and she turned her head and was like, hey, is the one with no mayonnaise marked? And then, yep. It's marked. It's in there. Okay, perfect. We get it. They hand me the burger with the sticker on it that says special.
Yeah.
I open it up. I look at it, and I was like, what? Like, they made a conscious effort to put a sticker on this one, and it has mayonnaise on it.
Yeah, it had a bunch of spit.
No, it didn't. But it had... Does this look like spit to you? Yeah, it does. Yeah. So then I look over at my passenger, and they had already taken a bite of the burger, and they were like, oh, this has no mayonnaise.
Oh.
So they, like, not only... They did it right, but then the icing on the cake, the coup d'etat, the coup de ville.
Yeah, the mayonnaise on the burger.
The mayonnaise on the burger, yeah. They put the special sticker on the wrong burger.
That is weird.
I was like, you guys, we're so close. You were so close.
Yeah, because all the other times, whenever we're out, you order without the aioli.
Yeah, no aioli. No aioli. Don't try to fancy up mayonnaise. All right, I know flavored mayonnaise when I see it.
Yeah, just hot mayo.
Yeah. What if that was a TV show? You had to dip your wings into various versions of hot mayo, like hot aioli. Like, oh,
instead of hot ones, it's white ones. I don't know.
Well, towards the end, I think they would start getting like brown and red, probably, because you got to mix so much heat in there.
Yeah. I wonder how hot you can make. The nice thing about heated mayo is it would never get extremely hot, because I mean, at some point it probably would.
It would boil. It'd separate, I bet.
Yeah. Hot mayo wouldn't be the hot.
You don't
wouldn't enjoy it as much.
And that's like the contrast in temperatures is like, it can be fun, but like if you're biting in a burger and it has a tomato on it and some lettuce and it's crispy and it's like it looks like a commercial, and the burger is hot and the bun is toasted, but the tomato is cold. That's a pretty good temperature differential. But if you put cold mayonnaise on your burger, it's going to make the bun colder, and it's starting to cool down the burger, but the burger's also heating up the mayonnaise. But I think, I don't know.
But if you have the mayo in between the cold lettuce and the cold
and the bun
tomato, then it's not going to take it down any less than anything else.
You put the lettuce on, and then you put the mayo on top of the lettuce, and then you slap a mater on there.
I think, how do you do it? Well, you don't put any on there.
Well, I omit the vegetables. No, I'm just kidding. I like my burgers. I like them with nice. Tomatoes. I like them with.
Keep talking for a second. I'm going to go let in our guest.
Oh, we have a guest today? That's pretty cool. So right now it's the Marquay show. And what we're doing here is we're drinking drinks out of a drink. Hey, you guys, now's my time to tell you we have a pretty cool thing at the cellar. Just keep your eyes on the cellar page, because if it goes down the way we think it's gonna go down, it's gonna be awesome, and I think you guys should definitely go check that out. Another thing about hockey that I do enjoy is the hits. Bang, the hits. And I'm talking about the hits, like Cardi B and who else is a hit maker? Not so much Drake anymore. Who else makes hits? Kendrick Lamar, he makes hits. I remember my friend one time, he was like, Drake makes hits. But like looking back, are any of his songs like gonna withstand the test of time? Because like some songs are like they just go on throughout history. And then I thought about this too. That song Trap Queen? That song's going to be like, people are going to hear that song in 20 years and be like, "Oh, Trap Queen. Uh-oh." That's going to be like old people's like Hotel California. So like you're listening to Trap Queen on the radio in 20 years, and then Grandpa's going to be like, "This isn't real music. I remember when they used to Hotel California." And then you're like, Hotel California. Speaking of California, we got...
What were you just talking about?
Listen, I was literally trying to figure out how many subjects I could cram into that little break. So like if I said something, I would switch to a different subject. I said something about... You guys probably didn't see that, but some things are just like comically funny.
Yes, they are.
Somebody, our guest here had his headphones on, and he's not used to wearing headphones, and he immediately went to go grab something that was just outside of the reach of the headphone cord, and I almost yanked his face off.
It's all right. Can you hear me? Ooh,
face off.
Look at that go.
I barely know her.
Oh, you guys got
Face off, barely know her.
Quite the crowd down there, huh?
Oh, they were outside waiting?
There was something. Wow.
They were there.
The ritzy spot.
They were there. Where'd you just get back from, Jason?
What'd you just call him?
Jason.
We'll go with it.
I think I saw Jesus on his hat. Okay, go ahead. Where'd you come back from?
Work. Just got here from work.
No, you look tan.
Ooh. Tanning bed.
He's always just that color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got a little...
You too. Where'd you come back from?
That's good question. I came from Minneapolis. It was warmer there.
Sunny over there.
It's always sunny in Minneapolis.
That's what I hear.
I would actually like to reach inside my brain and try to figure out why I called you Jason.
That's the new stage name.
Yeah. Jason.
Ladies and gentlemen, on our stage or in our studio, we have Jason Aldean. Should we go with Jason Aldean?
Jason Alpine.
Jason.
Jason Alpine.
Jason Alpine.
It's not really
Jason All
Green. Did you just button that up and then rip it off?
Yeah, I think the button's the wrong way.
You like put the pants on just so you could rip them off like basketball players?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was actually the coolest thing when I was on the basketball team actually, I was never on the actual team. I just played intramural basketball. But I got a pair of pants that had the snap closers. And then, you just grab the front and rip them off. Man, that was fun. Those were the days.
You just rolled in intramurals, just ripping the pants off? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's classic.
He actually does that at his son's games.
He's the coach.
He goes on every...
But in this, I'm not... No, I shouldn't say that. At the intramural games, I wasn't wearing any underwear. But at my kids' games, I have to wear an under
Man, really bringing down your stock. Be way more fun if you...
I was in that story. I was gonna make it the other way, And then I
Then
thought,
you realize.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna talk about ripping my pants off in front of,
Good choice. Good choice.
I sometimes make good decisions.
That would be funny to just have like tearaway pants though, and then just be wearing 5 different types of pants, each one that says something different.
Well, I think you'd have to get you'd have the first layer, but you'd probably accidentally grab 2 layers, and like while you're ripping one off, you're unbuttoning like 2 or 3 buttons of the other.
Yeah,
like you'd have to make sure that you're only grabbing one set,
or just have one button just latched, and then you're ready to roll. You could rip off probably 4 at least.
Yeah, if you just had one button on one side, and you could just take it off the whole way, and then each way that like. Yeah, so
but then how do you'd be walking around like those like the lady pants where you can see their leg the whole way down?
Yeah, so what I was thinking is that you have them connected on one button on this side, and then the next one below it is one button on the other side. And then
or just have them button until you roll up in, unbutton them on the way. It's not like you have to have them unbuttoned the whole time. Just got to get ready.
I think that made me confused.
So like I'm in the car driving, but I'm like, hey, to my passenger, I'm like, hey, can you hold the wheel for a second? And I reach down and I unbutton the one from my ankle.
Exactly.
That's exactly how you do it. So you understand. Okay. All right. I'd like to did you ever have any breakaway pants?
Oh yeah. Everybody did. Shoot, when we were playing ball, I would actually just wear the pants, didn't even have like the warm up top on because they didn't have enough. So, like, my buddy would wear the top, I'd wear the pants, we'd alternate.
Oh, nice.
That was freshman year.
That is small town.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can't afford to buy one more shirt or one more pants.
No, that's exactly it. So we're like, well, it'd be cool if we, like, run out and at least we got something on so we don't look like the outcast completely. Big thing is not looking stupid in warm-ups.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
you wore the pants and he wore the shirt?
We alternated. He'd wear the shirt sometimes, I'd wear the pants,
I wonder what...
Was the shirt rip away too?
No, I wish. They didn't make those.
Dude.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah. This was like the first year that our friends didn't dress up like the Hulk, or not the Hulk, Macho Man Randy Savage
He
going
got them
down.
stolen.
Oh, really?
He let a guy use them, and then the next thing he knows, they're sending him videos, they're wrestling with him on and stuff, and then he's never gotten him back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Pissed.
I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
Randy Macho Man. So for St. Patrick's Day, you guys would dress up like.
He had a green one, and then he had So he'd do Macho Man for St. Patrick's Day, and then he'd do Hulk Hogan for either, any day.
Yeah.
Yellows
Any
Day.
other day
Yeah.
of the week.
When do we all wear yellows? I don't remember.
Wasn't it May Day? That's
Isn't
not
May
true,
Day-
but it could be.
Isn't May Day a Canadian holiday?
No.
That makes sense that they're wearing yellow.
Why would Canada ever wear yellow?
Yellow's terrible.
It's
Worst color.
You got yellow on your hat. He gets us.
Yeah, well, that's just one letter, a couple letters. Black's the main thing.
That is true.
True. He's
True.
got yellow on it. I mean, it's like a yellow.
This
Eddie
is
would go.
Lello.
It's Lello. I'm always, when I hear kids talk like that, I'm like, what? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why do you say Lello? You're 15 years old. Why are you saying Lello?
That is, dude, I had to go to speech therapy when I was a
Paschetti?
child.
Oh my God.
Quite the lisp or what?
Yeah, well, I screwed up like weird letters that they took a while to get back. I screwed up like G's and N's and stuff.
So
like,
give me an example.
Well, and I'd screw up stuff, kind of dyslexic, I think, because I would say like Gina instead of ninja.
What?
Like, if
Obviously.
Ninjita?
if I was gonna say ninja, I'd say Gina.
Yeah, that's screwing something up. But could you even read at that point?
Was that for every word?
Ninja.
I screwed up like a bunch of different stuff. I guess I just remember that instead of going to recess, I'd have to go to the other school and do speech therapy.
Well, you probably did better because, like, if you went to recess and you were like, "Hey guys, let's play Gina's," people were like, "What?" And then you're like, and then you pull your shirt up and you're like, "Hi-ya," and they're like, "Gina's? You mean ninjas?" And then somebody'd probably, want to fight you because you're
That is
different.
true. I don't know if the speech therapy helped that well. Every once in a while.
Kept you warm in the winter. That's what
It
we
did.
always did. I started screwing up words about November, December.
Yeah. Just for a few months.
Exactly. No one wants to go out and recess
Yeah.
20 below.
Yeah. See, I never in my school days, like I had recess and it was always nice out.
Yeah, you didn't have seasonal.
Depression. The sun was always out.
Man, I wish I could have came up with that word quicker. Seasonal dyslexia,
What?
Nice.
That's fair.
seasonal speech impediment.
Seasonal skeech and pet.
Yeah, sorry, teacher. I think I assumed it have spediment. They're like, it's that type of year again, Blaise.
Yeah,
you better go get your speech impediment
like,
fixed.
Oh man, it's weird because it's always snowing out, and the teacher's very attractive
Dude,
that you have to go talk to.
A couple weeks ago, when Katie Boyle was in town, she was like an Irish comic, and this guy.
Boy, she was Irish.
She was very Irish. There was a guy that came and started talking to her. He talked to me a little bit before too, and I was like, what kind of accent does this guy have? I couldn't really put my finger on it, but he talked a little slower, and it was definitely like different pitches. And then he was sitting right in front, and she asked the crowd, who's from a different part of Ireland too? And he raised his hand, and he said like the part where his family was from. And she goes, oh, you grew up there? He goes, no, I grew up in, I'm not going to do his voice. But then, like...
It's okay. Nobody cares if you do Irish people's voice.
Nah, you might care when you hear the rest of this. Because then she goes, oh, you grew up over there? And he said it in, like, his slow, different type of way. And he's like, no, I grew up here. She goes, oh, well, where's that, accent from? And he goes, I have a speech impediment. So it's just,
you're lying.
He just kind of sounded pretty Irish and weird, but it was just a speech impediment, and his family just happened to be from Ireland.
Oh man, was that the? Oh, geez, I saw one of those shows. I feel like that's familiar, but that's the problem with comedy. I go and
It
I
was like
watch
the early Friday show, I think, or just the Friday show.
Maybe I wasn't there.
Do you get up there too? I don't think I've ever seen you on stage.
Oh yeah, no, I never perform.
No,
I would never.
Really?
Are you kidding me? It's scary getting up on stage. Every once in a while, I will.
He does.
Like I do I host it,
Oh,
so
yeah.
nobody ever sees that. It's funny because everybody comes in 10 minutes after the show starts. I don't know who's later, the comedians or the crowd. But like the crowd always shows up, and like it's always like on the third person.
That's what a lot of them do. Yeah.
I'm like, dang it. But then if you start it, like, you can't start it later because then people will still show up 10 minutes late. And then you're just like, well.
That's Marquay trying to not say that he starts at 10 minutes late every week when he does.
I try to start at 10 minutes late so that more people are there. Because if you started at 8, literally, it's an empty, I wouldn't say empty, but like, the thing that sucks is the people that are on time are looking at you like, are you going to start this thing?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I am, but as soon as I do, a bunch of people are going to come in and try to order beers, and then it's just going to be a whole. So I try to start it 5 or 10 minutes late every time, but then now there's more and more people, so like it always goes right up until the 2-hour cutoff. I'm like, dang it! And then of course
Aaron's going to try it one of these times.
You should.
Nerve-wracking.
Once you do it one time, I think you'll be like, all right.
Just getting up there's the thing, but whew,
Yeah.
that's the tough thing about it. At the end of the day, it's just getting on stage and
It probably is the
just
first.
saying anything.
The first time is really the only time that it was like, oh. Then after that, we're like, this is a piece of cake.
This is the easiest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, you've been up there a few times. Doesn't seem like you get a little nervous too, or what?
You know, I don't like even at the big shows. I don't get nervous about. I guess I do a little, but not. At the same time, it's like whatever. Yeah. You know, they're either gonna think I'm funny or they're not, and it's only gonna be for 15 minutes. So what do I care? You know, I'm still getting paid either way. If I suck or if I do really, really well, you still get money. You know, yes. So like. But actually, most of the time, I'll be honest, it's not the comedian, it's the crowd.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds, like you're up there, unless you really, really are bad, but then you don't get asked to do shows if you're not good.
So do you guys prefer hecklers then, or what?
No.
Kind of go out. No, you don't.
I'd rather get my bits out rather than have a heckler.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
suppose
usually
you
have
some
stuff.
bits reserved for those guys, not?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but there's usually just idiots saying whatever they want. I have a couple like loaded up that if someone says something and they're really annoying, then I'm like, I can just pull this one out and it'll be a quick one that like will usually do pretty well.
You gotta, yeah.
But you gotta figure it, yeah.
Most of the time you can get a heckler, but like the problem is you have a microphone and the heckler doesn't. But you can hear what they say, but like 5 seats away and the rest of the crowd can't. So like if they say something and you're in the middle of your bit and they're like, oh man, I don't know, my sister's also my uncle. Then like you make a joke about that, but nobody else heard her say my sister is my uncle. You know what I mean? Like, so they don't understand what you're replying to.
Yeah.
That's fair too.
Hopefully your sister's not your uncle. That'd be it.
That was the weirdest thing I could think of.
I'm not really exactly sure.
It's pretty weird.
I'm not exactly sure how that works.
I didn't know I was heckling, I guess, at the end of the day, but
Yeah, I remember when I came in and I was like, my sister's my uncle.
That was actually, you were just going through some sort of crisis.
Actually, I found out about, have you ever heard the saying, Bob's your uncle?
no. What?
No.
Me neither. My buddy keeps saying, like you say at the end of the day.
See you in theaters.
Huh, yeah.
Well, there's a new one.
Yeah. See you in
Write that
theaters. Oh. Bob's your uncle.
So
That's
that just means like
it's all wrapped up, it's all done, it's Bob's your uncle.
and which is also my sister.
Could be.
My sister is my uncle.
Well, that was that you heckling me? You should know better than that. The guy in the crowd.
I'm trying to figure out how that works.
Well, your sister could be your uncle if your parents.
If your grandpa,
There'd have to be a change.
There's some intermingling going on at that point.
yeah, that's real Arkansas-y, Alabama-y.
And then what if it's your sister is your uncle on your brother's on your dad's side, but your sister on your mom's side?
Yeah, there'd have to be a transition of some sort at one point.
Definitely.
And I don't want to say the wrong thing on the radio and figure out.
Well, we're on TV, so
Merry Christmas. That's for sure.
could you imagine Christmas? That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Why'd you buy me these tampons? I'm your uncle now.
Or just like bringing in people from the outside and explaining that to them. You know.
Oh,
hear
yeah.
about that every day.
Yeah.
You bring home a new girlfriend. You're like, hey, this is my uncle's sister.
That's my srunkle.
It's my sister. That's my uncle.
Yeah.
My unkister.
Sry Uncle. That just sounds like a different fast food restaurant in town.
Shry Uncle.
Sryrath House and Sry Uncle.
Shryrath House?
Yeah. That's one in West Fargo.
The Thai restaurant. I've been there a couple times. It's
Do you
actually
not
pretty
like
good.
Thai food, Aaron?
What?
Nah, not a Thai guy. Spicy and it's a.
It's not. It doesn't have to be spicy.
It's always spicy. They're like, I got the 0 on the scale of 0 to 5. 0 was hot.
They put ketchup on it.
I would have taken it with that right. Honestly, drown out some of that flavor. Oof.
I will say the flavor's what's my
Drown out the
flavor. Yeah, with nothing sets off the flavor.
You
of
want the
steak like
flavor. You
ketchup.
don't want the heat.
Right.
If you can't take the flavor, get out of the kitchen.
I don't even go to that kitchen. So
My brother-in-law orders like Thai food, like spice level. Like if they go to 5, he orders 5. And last time he ordered it for like the whole table and didn't take into consideration that some people don't like super spicy stuff. And just everything was a 5. So we all just sat there like,
Wow.
more water, please.
I don't get that.
No, I ate at Taco Bell the other day.
Spicy. Did you put Diablo sauce on it?
I didn't.
You're wild.
I got one of those. Cantina chicken burritos.
Ooh.
So it comes with the green.
Verde.
Chili sauce.
No, it's like a. What's the stuff that everyone loves? Guacamole sauce.
Ew. Guacamole sauce?
Yeah, it's like a salsa. It's like a green like guacamole. It actually rules.
Huh. Maybe
I
I'll
ate
try
Taco
it,
Bell
but-
2 days in a row, and I felt like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still recovering from this weekend.
Ooh.
Well, this
good.
weekend was
Weekend was
wild.
good.
Everybody had a good time this
Yeah,
weekend.
what I should have done is what Aaron did.
Get kicked out of the bar.
Oh, I forgot about that. How'd that happen again?
Which one?
Unbelievable. Side Street, I want to say. Dude, don't even get me started.
Doesn't make any sense.
The whole time I was there, it didn't make any sense. First, I ordered food. Then they said I didn't order food. And then they said I ate the food. And then here comes some guy, about 6'7", stupid mustache, has to pipe in there and, call me whatever. So then slapped him in the face.
Oh, okay.
No punch. You just gotta give him a little slap. Let him know.
Yeah.
You let them know. You let them know that you'll be waiting outside for your food and drinks from now on.
Well, they let me sit out, and then they're like, and I wasn't really with anybody. And then they're like, well, they came back, and they're like, your friends think that you need to leave. And I'm like, who the hell are my friends here? I'm like, I got no friends here.
Yeah.
Clearly got no friends here.
That is very
But also-
funny to be like, your friends are saying that you need to leave.
Yeah, I'm
like,
like, what's this
obviously,
environment?
the friends are always going to be like, no, he can stay.
No, he can stay. Yeah. Point me to these friends. And then
Pretty good friends I got.
Yeah, there's a few friends that every once in a while I'd probably be like, let's just tell them that we want him to go. Not you, though, Aaron. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Well,
not,
one time I threw your shoe away.
Yeah, maybe
Then
that
they
time.
gave you the bounce.
Yeah, we were in Minneapolis that time.
they threw your shoe away?
Well,
Dude,
he was. I don't know what the hell you're doing with one of your shoes, but it ended up just flying around. I was like, well, I'll just throw it away. And
I
then
was
they were
on.
like,
I was on one. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget what happened. Well, obviously, I barely know what was going
I
on.
have no idea.
We're in Minneapolis though, in these bars after a Vikings game, and yeah, somehow I just had one shoe for a second.
But it wasn't
I wonder-
yours?
It was his.
It was
He
mine.
had one
Okay.
on, one off.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
then
they're
I
like throwing it, I think, or something. I
yeah,
don't
and then
even know what
Aaron
they're doing.
just threw
Then
my
I threw it in
shoe.
the garbage.
Yeah, I didn't find it. Got
And then
kicked
Blaise,
out.
was not allowed in there because he only had one shoe.
Yeah, you know what's
No shoes. Hey,
know what's
I got shoe, not shoes.
No shoe,
You know
no
what's
Yeah.
funny though? I got kicked out for only having one shoe on, and then I just took my other shoe off. And then they let me back in for a little bit because it looked like I was wearing shoes since they matched then. Because before it was like, oh, you can tell I wasn't wearing a shoe because you'd be
Standing
like,
a little funny.
yeah,
He's lean to the side.
yeah.
And then you're outside the window, tapping on the window.
I was doing, yeah, that was long day there.
Oh, yeah. Always.
That's
What'd you do, say, this weekend? You go out?
oh gosh. I was also in the cities.
Oh.
Weird. Hanging. Yeah. I had a pretty good time. We all just got rowdy in a conference room. We got they make us some hotels, so like I'm a hockey dad.
Oh,
a hockey family.
Yeah, travel guy.
Yep. So we were down there in the cities at a tournament, and we had the smart hotels give you a space. Like we had a conference room. They were like, hey, here's your conference room, and there's like 5 teams that had conference rooms. This is actually old mental hotel that we were staying at, or a mental hospital.
Mental hospital.
Turned into a hotel, and
Not
it was actually pretty sweet.
Here's the mental hotel.
It was it got pretty mental, but like we were all sitting in the conference room, and everybody's getting drunk, and
Where are the kids during this?
well,
Getting drunk too, or?
well, I mean, I'm not a advocate for underage drinking, but I'm not even kidding. At the end of the night, one of the older brothers he's not old enough to legally drink, but
Snuck right in there.
he didn't sneak. Like nobody cared. Everybody was just like, whatever. Like it doesn't matter. And it was kind of fun. He started talking about stealing his dad's beers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, his dad actually was like, "You think you're so smart? You think I didn't realize that 5 of my beers were missing?" You know, like it's weird because I got a 24 pack, but only could finish 19. Because there was 5 gone, and I was like, "You finished a 24
That's
pack?"
what I'm wondering.
And I did. But
Pretty
if you're
cool.
drinking Bush NA, it doesn't, No, I'm
Push
just kidding.
NA, yeah. And it's for the full day. That's not even one every 24 hours.
That's still.
I mean, that is
Yeah.
one every 24 hours.
That's much more than one
still
every.
quite a bit either way.
It's. I mean, kids think they're smart when they do stuff like that, and they're just not. They're like, I don't know how he found out, but I don't know.
It's like
maybe-
the kids that would put water in their parents' vodka bottles.
Oh, we did that all the time. I mean, it didn't even matter what color the liquor was. Water in every bottle. My dad just starts pulling them out. He's like, "Why are these all clear?" I was like, "Must be a new thing down there."
Yeah.
Oh, liquor.
I
when
hear
it's
that if
in
you keep it out
darkness-
for a little while, it just lightens up.
Yep. You must not have put the
You-
lid on.
Drank it too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shake it up a little bit as sediments at the bottom. Dump it. Oh, on the marker board, we were writing. They had a board, right? Dry
A marker
erase
board?
Dry erase board. But somebody, I don't know, we were making signs. Well, the kids were making signs, and then somebody took one of the permanent markers and brought it over to the board, and then started writing stuff. And I was like, "Kids, man, kids are so dumb. Like, why would you do that?" But they can't read. They can't read that it says permanent.
No, they need to go back to speech therapy, like me.
I need some.
And then
Drawing therapy.
they were out there. They were like, "Oh, this marker is mermapent." Trying to rearrange the letters.
Yeah. They're drawing Gina's with their Nurmapint marker.
What'd you have to do with the board then? No one's just.
Oh, so okay, we got a moment, kind of blew all of our minds because one of the people down there was like a teacher.
MacGyver.
And she was like, "Oh, well,
Blew up the board.
she had a rubber band, a guacamole
Told ya.
packet, and no, she took the dry erase marker. She's like, "Oh, if you just draw over it with the dry erase marker and then wipe it, it'll take the permanent marker with it." And I was like, "BS."
How is that
What?
not known
That
by
worked?
everyone in the world?
Oh,
Life hack.
it worked.
Life hack.
It worked. Well, I mean, that was the only time I've ever had to deal with that. But I was kind of like, "What the flip?"
Well, dude, if you ever did that when you were in like grade school or high school, the teachers were mad at you. They're like, "Can't believe there's a permanent marker up here," and it would just be there for the rest of the year, never come off. So how did they should have figured that out before?
Yeah, we didn't do the board. You know those projectors back in the day with the little fans?
Yeah.
We used to take the permanent markers and you could set them up perfectly. And there's so like when they would turn it on, that fan would catch that marker and just bust it, and then it would kind of shoot out all the marker juice or whatever the hell. We got so many teachers with that. It was out of control.
That's
One
pretty
quit.
good.
Early retirement.
No.
Lost it. Threw the whole damn projector out the window and left. Never came back.
Really?
Yeah, she was like 70, 75.
And she could lift up the projector. Those things were huge.
Dude,
They were
this
heavy.
lady was huge. She's big.
Yeah.
We called her Frau. So
Frau?
rhymes with cow. We
I think
didn't,
that
we
just-
didn't want to call her cow.
I think
so.
in German, Frau just means lady.
Well,
Frau
It means
Lynn.
miss because it's like,
Frau Lynn.
yeah.
Frau, yeah.
My German teacher in high school
you
was,
took German?
yeah.
Jeez, you had a speech impediment in grade school, and you're taking German in high school.
That's probably, I was actually just
the growth.
speaking.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
The absolute growth in you, Blaise. Unreal.
I was actually, they didn't actually know it, but I was just speaking German when I was younger and thought that I had a speech impediment.
Would that be so?
They're like, I spiked dry. They're like, he's trying to say ninja weird.
Oh, he's not saying ninja.
He's saying Der Führer.
Das Führer. There's a lot of Germany jokes going on around these days.
Yeah.
I think it's because Elon.
Did that salute.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah. He's excited. People love and hate
There's a lot of
Elon.
salutes all over the place. And I love when people are always like, well, how about this one? And there's just another person doing it.
They just catch someone waving their hand. Weird.
Yeah.
They're like, there he goes again. He's saluting.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Putting
Yep.
his arm around somebody.
Yeah. Imagine if there's just like a girl beside you that you're going to put your arm around. They
100%.
catch you just like this.
Happens all the time.
You're like,
And then they
oh.
freeze frame it and they just go back
Yeah.
and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a GIF. Like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
You're like at a movie theater. You're just like, oh,
Can happen anywhere.
It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It can't happen to me because I make a conscious effort to always. I put my elbow down. Like if I'm pointing, I'll put my elbow up like this, and then, like my elbow's always bent.
Yeah. I almost specifically, I tie ties to my wrists and to my hips so that I can't bring my arm up the whole way, so I can't ever accidentally do a salute.
Yeah, I just wear a straight jacket.
That is the smartest thing to do. You just sit with a straight jacket, man.
You ain't moving much.
You do your shoulder like that, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
das Führer.
It's the new nod.
Yeah, every single time a politician gives a speech now, they always sit in their straight jackets just to make sure.
Yeah, no quick arm movements.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then you can see it's every once in a while they quick get out of a straight jacket in the middle and they just start. You're like, oh, whoa, you actually, yeah, no stopping you.
Well, they're like, hey, you got to take this thing off. I have to go to the bathroom. And then their little helper assistant takes it off, and then he's like, okay, thank you. Hiya! And then he just does it. Like, no!
He's more like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you say hell yeah? I did not.
No, that's a German ninja. He yells, hell yeah.
Hell
Hell yeah. And then he breaks a board.
Or something.
4 in a row.
Yeah. Yep, but that's why we keep our arms down, people.
That's right. Because you never know when you're going to be asked to break 8 blocks of ice. I
don't really know.
Or give the native salute out there in Germany. You gotta be
What's
ready
the
for
native
that.
salute?
Hey!
Oh,
that one we were talking about.
I thought you said, I thought you were referring Native American.
No,
Salute.
native to the area.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I guess I'd be curious what the Native American salute is.
That's why I was like, wait, what's that?
What do you think it is?
Oh, good question. Let's see here. Native American salute. Gosh.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the Cleveland baseball team
you
had
could
to
go
stop
with that.
doing it. But didn't they do the chop or whatever?
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
do the chop.
But didn't they have a
But that
hatchet?
probably
They
wasn't
still
their
do
salute.
Wasn't their whole, wasn't it a hatchet? Was their
Yeah.
logo?
Yeah. Well, no, it was wasn't it? It's clear. It's like an Indian.
Oh, that was the Braves.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah,
The
but
Braves
wait,
had a
Yes,
hatchet.
you're right. Or what?
Didn't
Well, the Cleveland Indians
did
had
too.
their.
Yeah, they did too.
But
Actually,
No.
what logo was the hatchet? I thought it must be the Braves. I
I
think,
think
it was the
they
Braves.
they went from
The hatchet was the
they had a
Braves, but I think that the Cleveland Indians did the
Actually,
chop.
the chop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with what you just said.
It's like
Yeah.
Florida State did it too. The Seminoles.
Oh, yep. Didn't the Seminoles throw like a spear before every
yeah,
game?
he rides out on a horse and throws it right in the middle of the field.
It's pretty sweet.
I don't know, I
Until
think
somebody gets hit with
do they
it.
Still do it?
I think so.
I think so too.
For a while, I was really into watching videos where somebody would get hit with a javelin. They'd just be standing in could you imagine you're at track and field day and you're just kind of hanging out, and then all of a sudden, thwack, you just get speared with a javelin.
Yeah, because I think now that don't they have a different tip on it now?
Yeah, they do. Because I even got those lawn darts too. Same deal. These things are wild.
Ooh, they make lawn darts. They now have the weight in the front, but my parents have an
Old school
old
ones.
set.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
I
play
got
that.
smoked with one of them.
Let's play that this summer. Just drill it through someone's head.
Yeah. We used to hold it by the back and throw it at the garage door, and it would go whiffunk, like ninja stars. It was crazy.
Gina stars.
Gina stars.
Gina stars.
Gina Stars sounds like an adult film actress. I bet that is
Probably
one.
is.
Yeah, Gina Stars. There's no way that hasn't been used.
There's so many actors and actresses in that world throughout time now.
Yeah.
I wonder how long their careers actually last. If Gina Stars
Years.
was a
I've been following many.
Yeah, some I've known for quite some time.
Yeah, at least 20 plus years I've been following quite
But
a
I
few.
think once you get to the funny thing is, I think only when you hit 31, you're grandma MILF stuff.
Grandma MILF. I'm 31 years old. Yeah, your time's up in the industry.
Yeah. And I think you only start off at some only start off till 25. That's 5 years, but they just longevity.
No, yeah, they got MILFs and GILFs and
Stem cell
you
treatments.
can go till 90.
They
I bet
must be
there's some
making.
90s.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh what? Nope. That's not for me. If somebody said,
Yet.
"Hey,"
Yet. It's
Yeah.
gotta be.
I guess that's a good point. I'm not old enough to
Once you hit 90, you're going to be this
Dang.
is my type
this
of treat.
This is what I'm talking about.
I'm going to take out my dentures and go watch
Yeah.
Gina Stars,
You
who
might
I've
even-
been following since 1997.
You might even jump in on one of those films, bud.
Yeah. You think that, like, let's say that you end up
All
living,
right.
you end up living longer than your wife
Not gonna happen.
in your 70s,
Okay.
and you're not retired. Your wife's gone.
Mhm.
You're like, I need something to do as my spare time for a part-time job. Would you get into adult films by making them, not just watching them? Because, of course, you're already going to be doing that.
And you don't get paid for them, so money's not a thing here.
Oh, you don't get paid? That
Nope.
does put a different caveat
Yeah.
on
Oh
it.
well, then no.
What?
Why would?
I'd still.
Well, it depends. I think it depends.
That's just what
I
you-
still have family.
Depends is what you got to take off to
I
make
take
the
out,
film.
yeah, like go to pull off the pants, and it's like one instead of wearing no undies like most do, like they pull down and then it's just an adult diaper.
That is true. They don't really wear undies in there, do they?
It just
That makes it very unbelievable for me.
it's a weird thing I noticed a while ago that I was like, how come they're just? And I was like, why do I if they don't?
Yeah, well, the comfort. You don't
It's definitely much more comfortable.
Yeah, you don't want a zipper rubbing against you all day.
No.
Or do you?
Yeah, it depends, I suppose.
No, you don't. You don't. I could imagine, because yeah. I mean, how? Okay, do I still have family?
Are they? At that point, the older you get, the less you care.
No, you're absolutely right. That's actually, I did have a joke about that where I was thinking about, like in the home, I'm going to be transferring STDs and doing all kinds of, yeah. So yeah, I probably would. That would be that'd be my name.
Your name is
Probably
Prollywood.
Hollywood.
Or that's where you live. Prollywood.
Probably would.
I think it's funnier if your name is just Wood.
Like, what's your porn name? Wood.
That's actually
You mean
pretty
like WOOD? No, I mean WOULD. Wood.
This is what people say when they look at me.
Yeah.
Wood.
Oh man,
good. That's actually pretty good.
I'm gonna have to. If I'm gonna have a career in adult films as an older person, like in my 70s, then I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start working out now. I'm gonna have to get fit so I can be fit in my 70s. Because
I don't know many 70-year-olds that are super fit, regardless.
well, they don't have to be fit. Just can't be. Like can't be chubby. Like
Why
nobody
not?
wants to see gray chest hair chubby.
People like the thick things. Come on.
Yeah, that's how I got in the industry in the first place. But what I'm saying is nobody wants to see nobody wants to see a naked 75-year-old guy who's not in at least like okay, think about don't think about this.
Thinking.
You got a
Deep thought.
70-year-old guy with no shirt on, even if he is like works out a lot, his skin is still like it's all gravity is
Yeah.
taking, it's all like so like even his flat stomach is like got little skin folds on it, I suppose.
Yeah, because like when you see Ric Flair,
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean,
Like he's still
Still
pretty
look at him.
beefy, but like it's not like tight, if you will.
yeah, that is true.
people watch it probably don't want tight. You know?
That is true. If you're looking
Nobody's-
for 70-year-old,
Everybody's got.
you're
different
probably not
flavor.
going to look for the tightest bods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd be the most popular because like you also have to.
Oh, so you're going number one in the industry is what you're going for.
I don't want to do it for like,
fair.
oh, this is just
Fair.
part-time job. Like this is gonna be like I'm gonna be number one.
star.
Yeah.
That is funny to
Would.
be like, would my family know about it? To being like, no, I'm going to be the number one old man.
Yeah. I forgot how much I was. Yep. People are gonna be like, hey, do you know Wood? And then they'll like pretend not to know, like, no. And then I'm on billboards and stuff. Like, I got
Leaned
my
up,
own.
just-
Yup.
I don't know if I've ever seen a porn star on a billboard. Have you?
Well, if you drive, yes, like bigger cities, they have like those. They have like strip clubs and stuff, and then they'll be like,
that's fair. Yeah.
some porn star will be on the,
Yeah.
like, oh hey, I was like, okay,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
so like, yeah, I think it's on the way to Chicago. There's a, I think like you're driving through Wisconsin, I think, and they start these signs, and then it's just like all these adult industry, like, let's go.
Imagine being a kid playing the alphabet game on a trip with your parents, and then all of a sudden you see that, you're like, wood.
Yeah. I found the letter X 3 times. X, X, X. Dun, 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 dun. You can't milk those.
That is, I should have found that.
That would have been the spot. But, yeah, I mean, what else do I got to live for? Like, if I'm 70 years old, but I don't know. It just seems like one of those things you got like a lifelong dream to do it, and I just don't,
Yeah, I feel like I'm finally living out my dream.
Yeah.
As a 70-year-old man in the industry. You just call it the industry then.
Yeah. Like it's like I'm on the, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you look over and people are just like,
you can't milk those.
Well done.
That is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
got to show all our new guests that every time I bring it in.
Would you do drugs in old folks' home?
You do everything in old folks' homes.
I'm sure.
From what I hear, I mean, they're wilder than 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to have to visit an old folks' home.
Oh, yeah.
Often.
That's how you got your name Wood.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now I know.
You actually are just,
I know where you're going.
you're going to just be 70 and finally coming out to show what you've been doing with all of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be 38 and coming out like in the old so this dude, he was I don't know, 190 years old. And I would like, he was always like, when I walked in, he was always in the front lounge area. And this is like a super nice one. It's almost like a resort. Like they got movie theaters, restaurants up in this old folks home, which is crazy. Like, and I didn't know how that worked. Like you go to a restaurant, do you have to pay? Like when you go eat, like you pay $3,000 a month.
I'm thinking some of those you do.
The guests probably have to pay.
The guests probably have to pay.
I bet they don't have to
Yeah,
That'd be
I
my
agree
guess.
with that.
Or like, oh, you have a voucher for your
Right.
steak dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's somebody's already cut it up and have to. But like when I would walk into the place, there was a guy who was always in the front, like just in the loungy front area. And when he would get up to walk, since I'm sitting down, you can't see it, but he had the coolest strut. Like he just was like slow, and it was almost as if like you'd probably call it a pimp walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he'd go from one lady and it took him 20 minutes to go 15 feet, but he would walk over to the other lady.
Shake them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd pick him up and shake the change out of their pockets.
He's like, man, ever since I had that stroke, I got this sweet pimp walk.
He's got the cane, too.
Yeah.
Pimp cane.
Yeah.
No cane, but like what he did have
He calls it his walker.
he called it Texas Ranger. His walker. He did have his shoes look like they were too big.
Oh.
It was like
You know
he
what?
was like
a lot of old guys do seem like they're wearing too big of shoes.
Yeah, you're like, why do you have shoes that are like, you're clearly not a size 14? Like, why do you have those shoes on?
Yeah.
Like, do they have wide feet?
Maybe they do, or they're just wearing multiple socks with
Probably.
extra Velcro.
Or he grabbed someone else's shoes, didn't even know.
Didn't
Yeah.
even know.
That age, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can take whoever's shoes they
When I'm
want.
100, when I'm 190, I'll put on anyone's shoes. I don't care.
That
I'll
is
say
true. Once you hit 190, you'll wear whoever's shoes and not give
The least
a-
of my worries is shoes.
His
Yeah.
shoes, yeah. You're like, oh, geez, which Nike Air Monarch 2s am I going to wear today? Well, these ones. I'm going to steal somebody else's. What if do grandpas have like dad shoes, right? But then
Velcro.
do you pass, what
Dude.
if you surpass dad shoes and go to grandpa shoes?
Dude, what grandpa shoes are little kid shoes, just bigger.
100%.
Because it's just one strip of Velcro.
You basically are going back to
Yeah.
being a little kid anyway.
Yeah,
you got
pretty much.
diapers, you got
Yup.
Velcro shoes,
Yup.
People
someone's
feed
feeding you.
Yup.
You're getting sponge baths.
You start saying Gina instead of Ninja.
Yup.
Yeah.
You go to speech therapy again.
Yeah.
And then you, hey, Neil, because old people name Neil. I don't really have a speech impediment, but Betty, the 58-year-old speech therapist, she's a looker.
Did you hear what Wood did with her?
Yeah. She was in one of those movies with Wood. I know him.
Wood's still around. He's been around for 34 years now. The longevity of his career.
Oh, also, dang, I could sponsor. Like, I'd get paid multiple ways because I'd obviously be Ben Gay, Cialis, Vicodin. Vicodin too. Viagra. There's all kinds of companies that would. Walmart Velcro shoes.
Yeah.
They'd be like, wear them. They're gray with the white. They got the white.
You'd have your own
edging.
brand, the Woods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get yourself a pair.
Yeah, the Walmart Woods.
The Woods.
It would say
The Nike Woods.
Yeah. Whoa.
ooh. The only
Those
the
are
only
actually
shoe with
clogs.
Velcro. The only Nikes with Velcro. Actually, I had Bo Jackson's a long time ago, and they had Velcro on them.
No laces?
No, they were laces, but then
Oh,
they had Velcro. It was like a Velcro.
Yeah, there's
They
a lot
still
of
got
those.
those.
Yeah.
I just thought it was straight Velcro.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Actually, you know what? No, those had laces, I think. I had a pair of. Geez, I was a little kid. My dad was really into shoes. I had a pair of LA Gear Flames. Like Karl Malone used to wear those shoes.
No idea what those are.
LA Gear is a brand of shoes.
Look
Was
here.
a brand of shoes.
Yeah, was.
Was. I think you
They're
can still
still
get
around?
them. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
LA Gear, yeah. I'm pretty sure. And somebody told me, like, if I still had those shoes, even though they're like size 5, they'd be worth some money.
I'm
they're,
sure.
Oh, they're
Just like
very
just like anything.
they're very 80s.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like most of these shoes. I might buy a pair. The Men's Flame.
Did they have mine were, I think they were were they red and white or blue and white? And they had like leather strips, but the strip was like spun around, so I had a spiral. Yeah.
Well, learn something new every week from you, Marquay.
Might start a little new trend around here, LA
Yeah.
Gear, huh? Bring
Let's
it
start
back.
ND gear.
Ooh, ND Gear. And
Snow boots.
Oh, that's not bad. We just make different moon boots.
I'm so glad, I thought moon boots were like I never heard of moon boots because I lived in Texas for a long time. And when I came up here, somebody's like, "Oh, he's got moon boots on." And I was like, "Those are just like boots to be like I don't know." But I never had to wear them because in Texas you don't get
I've
snow.
never heard the term moon boots.
They're like Napoleon Dynamite boots.
Right?
I don't even know what those are.
They're based. They look like boots you would wear
boots.
like Das Boot
Duck boots.
on the moon. They look like motorcycle motocross boots.
I've never seen those. Are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just slip them on
They
and
look
tie
cool.
them up.
They look cooler here than they do. This is actually like a different brand.
Okay.
They made moon boots cool.
These actually are
those are
very
pretty
cool.
Dang it! I want to see them now.
You're missing out, bro.
I will show you later. We need to finish this up pretty quick though, because we're
We're
a
over
little
time.
These are with the moon boots I was thinking of,
Oh,
which I for sure did have.
Everybody had a pair of them.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming in, Aaron Miller.
Yeah,
I forgot to
Aaron.
say that
Absolutely.
Aaron was our guest today.
Little late.
We
as
didn't
always.
forget. It was just part of the thing.
Yeah,
Like it was a
just our
bit that I
thing
called
now.
him Jason in the beginning.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
totally fine.
Jason All Beans.
Jason Wood and Blaise signing off here today. If you
Over
guys,
and-
yeah, if you guys are in West Fargo this weekend, Mike Glazer will be at Local 701. Sell some tickets for that. He's been on the Food Network, HBO, hosted the NHL awards.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Wait, do you want to do time on that this week?
Where's he going at?
I
Where's
w-
that?
It's
Well-
Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
I think I can.
Local 701.
Oh.
Tell your hockey parents.
Where's it?
Two.
Ooh, Local 701. That's West Fargo.
It used to be Bar 9.
Used to be Bar 9.
Oh, I'm thinking of. Shit, I don't even know what I'm thinking of actually.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you in for free if you want. But
You're heading to Mexico.
oh,
Oh, you just got back from vacation and now you're going to Mexico?
I didn't get back from vacation. I was never on vacation.
Oh.
no, you just thought he looked
Yeah, you
red.
just think I'm apparently a
Colored
different
well.
color.
Maybe it's the shirt, or maybe, I watched last week with David, and He is almost non-existent.
Yeah. That's why I put that light there again.
It's like,
Nice.
you can't see me.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the only shows we have this weekend. Or if you want at the Cellar, Friday and Saturday, Matty Ryan will be here. He's a super funny Chicago guy.
Yeah. God, that's going to be a good one. Matty Ryan.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, that guy.
Are you
But
in
yeah.
that? Are you in that show?
I won't be on those ones, but I'll be hanging out down here. I know a lot of Chicago guys that just text me saying, hey, Matty Ryan's going to be here, and he's the man, so you should hang out with him. So I'll be hanging out at the club there. But Local 701, Friday night, Google Mike Glazer, Fargo for tickets there. It'll be on, or you go to Collective Union. The ticketing company there is a little different. But yeah, check that out. Google Mike Glazer, Glazer, West Fargo. But get your tickets to that. Starts at 8 p.m. You don't need to watch basketball this weekend. Come to our comedy show.
Yeah, there's
I'll be on that show with Mike Glazer, and so will Marquay.
basketball.
And and just see Aaron in Mexico.
Yeah, what part of
Down to the
Mexico?
wave. Tulum. Never been.
Oh, I
Wait,
know
is
all
that where
about
the
it.
pig
So
beach
cool.
is?
It's like the jungle-ish area.
Are you going to that pig beach?
No, that's in. I don't even. Is there a pig beach over that down that way?
I don't know. I just
There's one
remember.
over in like Jamaica, but it's like
Last time I heard you talking about
it's
vacation.
expensive to get to, and you either got to take a 8-hour boat ride or you got to take a flight that's like, I mean, it's like $1,000 or $2
Yeah.
to do it.
Is it you and the lady though?
Yeah.
Who's going?
Yeah,
Nice.
So it should be all right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
The weird thing is there's no beach there. It's jungle, which
Actually,
I didn't
that
know.
is
After,
weird.
I didn't know until after I booked it. I'm like, what? the fuck? So you
Yeah,
gotta
I
take,
would've
like, a
wanted to
15-minute
go-
ride to get to the beach from the jungle.
Oh.
Yeah, where are you gonna go? Like Acumel or geez, what's
I don't
over
know.
there?
It's
Well,
like-
it's Tulum's way down here and Cancun's way over here.
Yeah, Tulum's. I mean, it's like an hour and a half. I didn't even know because they built an airport there. So we're flying into Cancun. I guess we could have flew into Tulum, which I didn't even know.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
It just opened up like last year.
Interesting.
Oh,
which I
that
wasn't
yeah.
aware. Yeah, until I started watching those YouTube videos of people flying into Tulum and then hanging out in the jungle, which I didn't know either of.
Which I guess you'll be doing.
They got actually the Tulum has the temple of the wind god, which is my favorite temple because of farting.
Really, that
is
is
that
very
what it is?
funny.
Yeah.
And then that's actually where they filmed Legends of the Hidden Temple too for Nickelodeon. So
Nice.
Nice.
Surprised you didn't know that when you booked
you
it.
can go play that.
No, I didn't know that.
They got ruins. Ooh,
nice.
they have when you go to Tulum.
Yeah.
There's a store.
Okay.
They got a bunch of glass, like a bunch of like you can buy little figurines and like touristy stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of big onyx pieces that you'll probably end up taking a picture of and making jokes about, and it'll be like a focal point for the whole.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
It's-
you'll see it.
It's what approved.
Definitely would approved.
Okay.
Would replica.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well,
good night.
we are out of here. Toodaloo.
Aloha.
Theaters.
Theaters. Oh man.
This is a pretty cool setup. What do you guys